Hey guys, and thanks for clicking on this video. Because if you're seeing this, it's likely that you are someone who follows my actual YouTube channel rather than always clicking links from outside stuff from YouTube because I don't actually promote the videos that go into this playlist. So good on you because you're my favorite people. And I want to do this video as a channel update, but also as a thank you to my supporters. So right now, I'm pretty close to 400 subscribers, which is awesome. I'm still small game in the world of content creation, but you know what? That's where I'm comfortable. I always feel like if this gets too large, I'll have this fear that I'd actually slow down significantly or be forced to fight this like desire to appease to a larger audience, and none of that is what I want to do. So this feels pretty good to me, being right around this number. In addition to the subs here on YouTube, I also have 7 patrons on my Patreon, which is not only surprising, but also very humbling. And I want to thank all the following people for donating now that March is at an end. Also because I haven't done something like this, and I really ought to be doing it all the time. So thank you to Anthony Hicks, Eric Irvin, Gustavo Gabi, Jedi Geek Girl from iRebel. You should go listen to her stuff. She has a great podcast, and she has an amazing website. One with the Force over at DBG, and I believe the KOR Discord as well. My friend Jose Guerrero, who donated to me because he said if he beat me in round 1 of the regional, that he would, and then we got paired up and he won. So he donated $1 a month. You're a funny dude. And lastly, Ronaldo Baleski. So combined, you guys are giving me $16 a month, which is basically paying for my parking or lunch for 2 days. And that's not only helpful, it's also very heartwarming. And if anyone watching right now would also like to donate to support the channel, you can do that by going to patreon.com/rebelgrayswd. I appreciate you. So with that said, there are some other things worth mentioning too. I now have a puppy, which you might see running around in the background here. It's actually my wife's puppy, as I'm a cat person and I claim no ownership over said animal in the event of a divorce. And she's looking at me right now like, what are you talking about, Dad? As for video content and future channel plans, well, there's a few things that are brewing right now. You know, I had this week to really sit and think about everything that wasn't work for the most part, and I know where I'd like to be heading, but more on that in just a minute because there's some other stuff I want to talk about first. So just a few days ago, I released a video called The Importance of Turn Sequencing, which I produced alongside my good pal Sugi from the Knights of Ren, and it's gotten the average amount of hits for the channel, but in a much shorter time, so that's good. And my biggest complaint about the video, that I heard from other people, was that it was just over 3 hours long. And I know that's quite a doozy. And I'm not sure, no matter how good a video someone told me it was, that I would watch a 3-hour video about my hobby. I recognize that. So I'm actually already working on trimming it down to a more respectable size. But I can't really guarantee that it's going to be under 2 hours. In fact, the way that the editing is going right now, it seems like it's still going to be around 2 hours, 15 minutes, 20 minutes, thereabouts, something like that. But I'm not sure on the final duration. All right. In any case, I'm going to be releasing that director's cut, or whatever you want to call it, of that video sometime probably next week, maybe the week after. There is a video that I'm putting ahead of it in the queue because there's really no reason to release the same video back to back. So what I'm saying is that if the 3-hour length scared you away, well, I'm going to help you out a little bit with that. And remember, too, also that you can actually watch stuff at 1.5 times speed, which is something that Honestly Sarcastic suggested in the Knights of Ren Discord the other day. I actually listen to all my podcasts in the car at 1.5 speed because, well, there's so many of them. And even though I have 10 to 12 hours of commuting in my car each week, that's barely enough time, to get all that content in. Also sometimes I just want to rock out with XM Octane or Turbo. So, we all need a break sometimes, and music helps me unwind a little bit. So for the videos coming up this month, they will once again focus on the usual technical discussion. I've got a follow-up on alternate strategies discarding video up next, which will provide sort of an overview on a variety of hero mill decks. And I'm going to perhaps tap a friend to help me put together a version for a villain mill. And after that, I've got another video in the works regarding elements of successful gameplay. That one's more like, I don't know, how would you say, like an awareness video? Sort of things to keep in mind at all times before and during gameplay. So those are 2 that will be hitting you early in April, time willing. As for the channel, well, I get feedback all the time, as you would expect, and I always hear that I should make a podcast all the time, but the other piece of feedback that I get a lot is that I should be doing gameplay. And now I've said in the past that I don't personally want to do gameplay because I don't like the way Destiny presents on TTS. And I already spend hours of my life in TTS playing other games. And, I really do enjoy the feel of the real dice and the cards, and that's just kind of my style. However, I may have a solution for all of you that have been sending me that particular type of feedback. So right now I'm in talks with a couple people about expanding the channel's staffing. And so I'm looking at bringing someone into Rebel Impact to actually do TTS gameplay for you guys. So for now, I guess, just keep looking forward to that because it's not set in stone just yet. I want to make sure I get the right person that's entertaining and does interesting stuff. As for the podcast stuff, I've also not got the time to do that right now. So it's on hold. However, I have been able to dedicate some time here and there to guesting on other shows. So if you missed me on Jackalman Games last week, you should go check that out. It's right here on YouTube. I was on 2 episodes of that, playing a mill deck and also playing Boba Phasma. Also, I'm going to be an upcoming guest on the Bizzlecast sometime next week. That's a general gaming podcast and all-around fun show. So I've heard a lot about it, and I'm excited to be a part of it. Oh, and I should also mention that if you're looking to play some board games with my crew on Thursdays and Saturdays in the evenings, EST time zone, that you should hit me up on Discord or head over to my website, impact-gaming.us, and send an application to the Random Impact Gamer Group, and I personally will deal with your application there. All right, folks, so thanks for watching. Thank you to all the patrons and everyone that gives me feedback constantly, positive or otherwise. I always appreciate reading your comments so that I can prove what I'm doing here. So until we meet again, may the force be with you.